I think that'll do the trick. Yeah. So you guys can see the defenses, but you don't see the offensive cooldowns. We do have 25 minutes to start. But yeah, that's how we're going to do it. So we have the Alliance team with Hell All, Archdruid, Zikati. Wait, actually, this is Ross, Taylor, Twins, Zikati, and Cry. Are they missing anybody? Dips. Where's Dips at? Dips is somewhere in... there's Dips. And then we got the Horde side with MM Plock, Silent Storms, Labar, Dead, and Alpha. So we're going to have to see who's up first. We're going to have to see who is going to go next. It's going to be Dead first versus Zikati, as they wanted to do it. We're going to get a stun onto Dead. Zikati is going to run through these traps while AMS is available, just trying to get as much damage as possible. Another stun with a pet. Does actually take not that much damage. Getting a full army of the dead available with that Apocalypse. We're going to get a Root Trap onto Zikati. Unbreakable Trap. And Dead is just going to have to run around circles. My music is gone, by the way. My sound is completely disabled for the actual arenas. I'm not sure if that's intended. Manic Better is coming out for Dead, trying to recover. Does have the pet trapped up. Is going to have a bunch of traps back to back. It's going to be a grip and actually IBF out of Zikati. Dead is continuing to go behind the pillar, taking a little bit chunks of damage, not really heal himself up to full. It is going to be a feigned death, trying to lose a little bit of the aggro. Might have to go for Turtle Shell and a big old heal, and Zikati just continues being slowed back to back. Is going to have to start running through all these traps, letting the pet go first, letting the pet smack bandages out of Dead's hands, and seeing if there's any freezing traps available. So that pet is going to make it hard for Dead to do anything. Stun coming into a trinket for Dead. And Dead continues just to run away. The pet is actually killed right now, so Dead was able to take out the pet. I'm not sure if it was a Corpse Shield pet or whatnot. We do have an AMS available for Zikati, trying to run through as many traps as possible. It is a Turtle Shell available for Dead. We'll see if Zikati runs through more traps. The pet is back, but Zikati is the one who gets trapped up. He can still send the pet. It is slowed forever. Is going to knock out Mending Bandages out of Dead's hands yet again. Out of his cold dead hands, as Dead is. Zikati tried to get around. He's like, hey, you look like one of my ghouls. Get back here, motherfucker. Get back here. I didn't tell you could leave. Just messing around with Dead's pet, trying to get some runic power off of it, probably. Does he have a pet available on Dead? It does look like he does. Does empower the pet. The pet is going to get trapped up. So Zikati could go from the other side, but Dead wants to run through all the traps, all the CC. Does have himself a little bit healing going on, but not too much. As long as there's dots available onto Dead, it could be a win for Zikati, but Dead is in a bad spot. Is going to go for Feigned Death. It's going to be a little bit hard to target him for the pet and everything. Is going to give himself a big heal coming up for himself, so that's nice. And Zikati trying to go around circles against Dead. Doesn't run into a trap, getting some free damage onto Dead. Is that going to be Apocalypse? This actually is going to be Apocalypse. That's a lot of damage. And Zikati getting trapped up in a trap. I'm not sure if there was a trinket. I think it actually broke. And Dead continues just to run away from the army of the dead, barely in his last two legs, his last two bony legs, trying to get away from Zikati. The pets are going to get pumped up, and Dead does go down. Zikati took him out. It was a really close match. It was a lot of just traps and everything back to back to back. And it's going to be Alpha going up next versus Zikati. Catch him in the sap. We'll see what Alpha plays. It looks like he plays, I think, Subtlety Rogue. It is looking up Cheap Shot. Yeah, those Shadow Strikes, so it is going to be Subtlety. Gonna go for Cheap Shot into a Kidney. Zikati doesn't have anything left for his defensives. It is going to be a big old DFA onto Zikati, but he does have Corpse Shield available to absorb a lot of that damage. Corpse does go down fairly quickly. Alpha is knocked down to about half health. Evasion did get burned. The next Corpse actually coming out. I guess the Corpse Shield didn't quite kill his corpse or something. So that's going to keep him out in combat, not let him restyle. Does have a Vanish and Cloak of Shadows. Is going to cloak and vanish at the same time to get a full re-heal. Zikati is still trying to catch him. Does sit in Death and Decay, but the Rogue is not running into this whatsoever. Not getting caught out by that. Zikati decides to mount up. Might even go for the eyes right now. You know, Alpha did not notice this. Is that going to be eyes available? It is going to be eyes available. So you should see the Rogue right now. Should see him on the left side. Still gets sapped up, but the pet is going to take him out of stealth. Is trying to burn those Shadow Strikes and Cheap Shots for the opener. Going for a big old DFA into a trinket for Zikati. Could have IBF and AMS available at the same time. Does get a stun to Alpha, who trinkets it off the bat. AMS is coming out, and Zikati trying to heal through as much of this as possible. Alpha is kind of just trying to get away from the guy. No Vanish available. Coming up in 5 seconds. Getting to live long enough. Short stun by the pet, and does take out Alpha. Next up is Silent Storms, the Paladins. So of course you have the Hunter was the hunted. The Rogue was the one getting mugged. And now the Paladin, is he going to be the one getting chastised and getting exorcised, basically? We do have the Paladin taking a bunch of damage. Silent Storm popping out his big shield, but Zikati barely took a hit while hanging out into that anti-magic zone. Continues, actually even got a kick on Silent Storms. So with that kick, could have actually taken him out without any bubble. Bubble is getting forced as Zikati drops all his undead army with Apocalypse. Now he's just trying to cut away from him. Silent going in for as much healing as possible. Hodge coming in onto Zikati. No trick available. Might actually take him out, and Zikati does get exercised. Who is up next for the Alliance team? It is going to be Dips. Dips is Outlaw, man. Dips versus Paladin. The worst matchup for an Outlaw Rogue, to be honest. The worst possible matchup. There are some bad ones. Outlaw has a hard time with survival. I guess all three rogues have a hard time with survival. Outlaw has a hard time with Paladins in particular because dab of the sword. Oh no, dab of the sword. Eye for an eye. As Outlaw is all physical damage and Bop. And Bop came out and Dips decided, I'm going to dip out of there. Did pop a lot of his cooldowns though, so that's going to be a lot of cooldowns burned through. Is going for stuns back-to-back into a killing spree with Cloak of Shadows available for Dips as the Paladin decides to get away, but Grappling Hook is going to keep him running for a little bit longer. Continues to chase after the Paladin, trying to get as much damage out. Not going to be able to catch up. Is re-rolling for buffs. Does still have a Trinket and Parry available. Wants to stop Paladin from recovering, but dampening is only 2%, so Paladin is going to have some time to recover. Are eyes available by any chance? It's kind of hard with Spectator to get that angle to check on the eyes. The eyes are up, and Silent does see the eyes. Is going to go for them. For Dips, it's going to be a little bit tough here. Silent is getting hit with a sap. This is going to be a roll for Dips. Hopefully a good set of buffs. It looks like it's Plunder or Buried Treasure. That's a lot of energy regen. I'm going to go for a stun back-to-back, but it looks like it's going to be a Hodge into... No, just a Judgment by the Paladin and more heals as soon as you can. Once Outlaw's out of cooldowns, man, especially in tournament rolls, you just don't have that much pressure afterwards. How's Frost Mage any good at duels? I'd say Arcane probably has the best time dueling a lot of players. Fire maybe to an extent. Frost can beat some classes, but mages generally are a little bit weak right now in Legion. In BFA, however, they're a glass cannon. And when I mean cannon, like real big emphasis on the cannon. Like in Legion, you think they're strong, but in Legion, they're tickling compared to BFA. In BFA, they're a really hard hitter. Okay, so I was a Trinket into a Crusader into a Shield of Vengeance for Silent Storm on a cheap shot. Dips popping a lot of his cooldowns available back-to-back. Cloak of Shadows is available. Parry's coming up as the wings are up for Silent. Is trying to get some damage out of the guy. Is that going to be a bubble available? Actually, no bubble available or nothing. Silent Storm is actually taking a bit of damage with that killing spree. Trying to go for a flash of heal, and Dips is going to go behind the pillar. Oh no, he's actually back into stealth around the Paladin. No bubble, no pop available. Doesn't run eye for an eye, I don't think. But still, for Dips, is hard to take him out. That was a lot of cooldowns just used for Dips. That was a ton of them. But actually, it looks like he didn't use all of them quite yet. He might have a Adrenaline Rush as well as a... Oh, there is sound. It just needs to be really, really close to it for some reason. It is going to be a full burst and Cloak of Shadows out of Dips with Artifact Weapon and Adrenaline Rush, trying to live through Silent Storm as best as possible. Short stun is going to force out the Paladin auto trinket thing. Flash of lights are coming out as Dips decide to dip away as he's in a bad spot. No cooldowns available. And for Silent, there's going to be a lot of ability to just re-heal. That would look like it was Grand Melee, not the best buff for Outlaw, but it's going to give him at least something to work with. It's better than nothing. Dips doesn't have a Trinket, so for a Hodge out of Paladin, if he has the Artifact Weapon, honestly, this could be the end. Going for a cheap shot into between the eyes right afterwards, trying to get some damage out. Has a little bit of self-heal, is going for a gouge right afterwards, and a grapple hook away. For Paladin, it's all about just heal himself up as best as possible, as Dips is trying to get an opener to cycle combo points, reset, run away, so you can kind of go back at him again and again and again. And I actually can see the whole conversation from the other end. That's hilarious. I can just see that. Alrighty, Dips. He has some cooldowns coming up. For Silent Storm, Bubble is almost available. Bop is available. Shield of Vengeance is available. Eyes might be available. Is he going to see Dips, though? Or is Dips going to be able to get a sap? Oh, he does pick up the eye. Does get a Judgment onto the Rogue. Does Hodge him. Trinket coming up very, very soon. Dips might not have to actually trinket it. No, won't even have it available. Gouges the Paladin. Paladin triggers that gouge into a stun by the Rogue into a vanish right afterwards. That was actually really rough. That's a trinket out of the Paladin, but I guess he thinks, you know, I got a bop, I got a bubble. Oh, how is this Rogue gonna win? There's no way. He's just some lowly Outlaw Rogue, but Dips has cooldowns coming up. I think he has Killing Spree available and Plunder Armor. I think he has a Drone Rush and Artifact Weapon coming up very, very soon, but he's definitely going to have to go through a whole rotation all over again. Just has to heal with 23% dampening, Crimson Vial on cooldown. Sap coming on to Silent. There's just nothing really going on. Silent does have wings available, so that's going to be a lot of damage. Dips does have a Trinket. If he can cloak one of the Hodges, so for example, he gets an opener, cloaks a Hodge, forces out Bop, then the other opener, he trinkets the Hodge with a Trinket, forces out Bubble, then he might actually have a chance. But I don't know what he'll have for the third stun though. Dips does open onto Silent Storm. Hodge coming in, trinket out of Dips, going in for a full burst rotation of everything. Bop coming out pretty early on for Silent, still has a lot of damage available. We do get a parry out of Dips as he's trying to get away, but the Paladin's not letting him. Cloak of Shadows came out pretty early into the stun onto Silent Storms. Maybe he's trying to kill him while he has Forbearance, or at least keep his health low. Does blind Silent Storm while he's low. Shield of Vengeance is available up to him again. Is going to get sapped up through full as his wings go down. For Dips, there's no way of getting out of here now unless Silent Storm, if he has the way to trinket out early, like the Pally auto trinket, this will be really difficult for Dips to deal with. Does go through sap, does get a Tricks of Trade onto somebody in order to get some more damage, but that Shield of Vengeance is just going to be tough to break through. Trying to bust through with pistol shots in between the eyes, not quite, but it does keep Silent Storm from healing and does keep him moving around, so at least it's a little bit better. Cheap shot coming in onto Silent Storm, very heavily DR'd into a Hodge. Is that going to be the end of Dips though? That could be the end, and Dips is going to go down. That is the worst matchup for a Rogue, for Outlaw Rogue out of all of them. And it looks like Hell is going up against Silent Storm, getting him into a stun, and it was a Pally Trinket getting him out as soon as possible. Hell, the Shadow Priest versus Silent Storm, so this is going to be it. The Shadow Priest versus the Paladin. Only bubble available for the Paladin. We'll see what Hell ends up playing. Twins did ask, which is Hell. Twins did ask if they could go, or if they should. They said they were not going to go the Void Shift, but I said honestly it's fine because against a lot of these melee classes you need that in order to win. So I wonder if Twins went with that or I went with Siphon, because Siphon's still strong. It's just really good against healers if people don't kill it. But Void Shift could be like another Disperse, and that could be really nice. Yeah, it take someone's health off in the group, but they can like self-heal. So it's a hard match for Sharpie sometimes for someone melee. So I'm just trying to help out, you know, if there's something they can do. Kind of like for Outlaw Rogue to Tricks, just so you can actually do normal damage, because you do 0 damage besides that. Silent Storm getting caught out with a lot of the cast, the channels by Hell, trying to go with Siphon, is going to trinket that first stun into a silence of the Silent Storm. Hell going for a Disperse off the bat. There wasn't even cooldowns or anything though. Hodge coming into Hell afterwards into a trinket by Twins, and I'm kind of caught in the bushes right now. Twins is trying to live against this Paladin with wings available. Has a lot of damage coming in, and Twins does go down, and that's just rough. Did roll Siphon, didn't roll Void Shift. Maybe Void Shift would have actually been the winner here. The Silent Storm guy, Paladin, still has Bubble. So that actually might get forced right here by Ross Shifty. Bubble does get forced, wings are available, gets a Hodge onto him. Trinket might want to do that, and Thorns and Wall are available, might want to go into Bear right afterwards. And Silent decides he just needs to heal up while he has it. Ross could take him out right now, but he's also very low on health. He's going into Bear form, and Silent does get away to heal up. 43% dampening. This is going to be a little bit rough. I feel like if the Paladin doesn't have any way of getting out, if he doesn't have the Pally trinket available anymore, this is going to be a little bit rough here. So he might go down. Ross still has fairly low health. Bob coming out though, I didn't even notice that. That Bob might be the end of Ross. Shifty is out in the open, no walls available. Hodge coming in while he's in Bear and might be done. Yes, he is. Cry's up next, and we still have Plox and Labar left. So this is going to be a little bit rough. Silent Storm, and where is the Rogue that we're looking at? We're looking at Cry. Cry versus Silent. Cheap shot opening up. No way to live past this, and is going to take him out. Labar is up next. Looks like it's an Enhancement Shaman too. Unless he's alien. Looks like he is an Enhancement Shaman. Trying to end the Rogue, but I think this is going to be the end of him right here with this Rogue, dude. This is hard to beat. Yeah, Enhance. I don't think Enhance can beat Subtlety, man. Unless Subtlety makes a major mistake, that's rough. Or if he's Orc with Relentless. That would work maybe, because the Rogue needs a lot of stuns back to back. And it looks like Labar just runs into the other team's room, with the Cry being the last one left. Does trick it off the bat, does have a stun totem available, and does wall. So this is honestly for Cry, he could just blind the guy and just reset. Labar is going for a lot of bursts, taking so much damage to Cry. Evasion and Cloak of Shadows are available, and Labar decides to just Ghost Wolf away from there. He's backpedaling a little bit, trying to get some damage out. Can't quite catch Cry. He's backpedaling. His keyboard turning a little. My dude, this is going to be a little bit rough for you. Cry actually was almost about dead, because enhanced shaman damage can be pretty brutal. Is going to go to pick up the eye, but Cry is already there with that sap as soon as he sees it. Cry is not going to get that much healing out of it though. 53% dampening, only 1% health per second, but that's a now cut at least by half. Trying to get a Nightblade opener into a cheap shot into an artifact weapon right afterwards. Is that going to be enough damage? Cheap shot again onto Labar, barely any health left, into a blind, keeping him low. But for Cry, he needs to keep him low. There's no way he can there's no way he can live if Labar gets a chance to even hit him, because he just sneezes in his direction, he's done. Labar is going to Ghost Wolf. I wonder if he has the Ghost Wolf healing. Probably does. Is going to mount up. No, going to get sapped up. Should have stayed in Ghost Wolf, so at least he could somewhat heal, because that's all he really has. I doubt there's a trinket available anytime soon for this guy. So for Cry, can he live? Can he kill him and then live Plox? That is the question. Plox is getting ready over there. Already in stealth as a cat. Probably not the best way of going about it. Shouldn't be going to stealth that early, but he's going to be vanished for Cry, so this is going to be a stealth battle of the bat. Plox trying to find Cry, and Cry does see him, does get spotted, does get a bleed on him, I think. If that's a bleed, then Plox gets a full opener on the guy, and he might Yes, it is. Oh, and there was a stun out of Cry into a stun into Emerald Blocks, trinket out of Emerald Blocks, and Cry's out in the open, trying to Shadow Step, Shadow Dance away out of this guy, but I think this is going to be the end, and Cry is going to go down. Cheap Shot available. Cheap Shot! Is he not rolling the self-heal build? He might be rolling Cheap Shot for this, and he does go down. Oh, my guys, my dudes, that was a little rough, man. That was a little bit rough. Wow. Very, very interesting duel. Well done, guys. Well done, everybody. Wow, spectator mode worked. I'm happy it did. I like how we're just focusing on one guy now. I think everybody else left, so you're just focusing on one guy. Oh, this looks kind of cool. Look at that. You have this kind of like camera angles. Look at this.